What's up, you guys? I just wanted to congratulate you on committing to your 10-day ketone experience, and I wanted to make a video to break down the 10-day ketone experience, show you what you're getting in the mail, and some tips and tricks to kind of help you get started off on the right foot. So you will be getting a variety of flavors and formulas, and the reason we do this is we want you to be able to try a few different things before committing to a full order. And there are different formulas. Some people prefer one formula or flavor over the other. So this is just going to give you a great start, and you can figure out what you like and what you don't like and what your body responds to the best. So some of the differences here, you're going to see the max ketones and you're going to see the keto OS ketones. The difference between these, the max ketones have a higher concentration of ketones in them. You are also going to see a note on the packet. Usually I throw in a mix of caffeinated and non-caffeinated ketones. And it'll say charged on it right there. So that means that there's caffeine in there. So just be aware of that when you're taking your ketones. If you're sensitive to caffeine like I am, I can't have any caffeine after like 3 o'clock, otherwise I'll be up all night. So just make sure that you're taking a look at the packets before you're actually using them. And sorting through the caffeinated and non-caffeinated. So these ones will put a higher concentration of ketones in your system. And the Keto OS, these Orange Dream ones actually have MCT oil in it. So that's what sets it apart from the other ketones. MCT oil is really great. You take it first thing in the morning. A lot of times who are following the keto diet will take MCT oil on their own, and it helps naturally kick your body into ketosis. With this formula, it's going to help your body absorb the ketones a little bit faster. So for me, I get some really great mental clarity in particular with this one. I get mental clarity with all of them, but I notice this one just makes my brain like super sharp, and part of that is because of the MCT oil in it. Now, as far as like mixing these ketones up, there are a few different ways to go about it. Please make sure that you aren't using juice or something very sugary to mix your ketones with, because sugar and carbs are the opposite of ketones. So you want your body to use the ketones, but if you're putting a ton of carbs and glucose into your system, it's basically going to counteract the ketones. So please don't eat like a big bowl of pasta right after you drink your ketones, or mix it with like a sugary juice or a sugary sports drink. I mix the max flavors with water. And I love these two flavors. These are my favorite flavors. It's the raspberry lemonade and the Maui punch. And I just use a big 32-ounce shaker cup, and I fill it all the way up with water. On the package, it says 12 to 16 ounces, but I do a full cup of it, 32 ounces, mix it, shake it up, and just make sure that you consume your ketones within like a 30-minute time frame, because if you mix it up and then sip on it for a few hours, after about 30 minutes, your ketones aren't going to be as effective and they're going to lose the effectiveness, and you want it to be that like energy boost and feeling good. And I want you to get the most bang for your buck with your ketones. So please make sure that if you can't drink like a whole thing in 30 minutes, you can just fill it up halfway and just pour in half the packet and do it that way. And then save the other half for later. So just make sure that you're mixing it up with water. There are a lot of different recipes in the welcome email that I sent over to you. There's going to be some resources in there and some recipe ideas and guides. I do the Orange Dream ones and the chocolate swirl with almond. I fill up a shaker cup of almond milk, ice, and water, and I do it that way. In full disclosure, this one is my least favorite flavor. So I will mix this one with like an iced coffee. You can do it hot or cold, and that's totally fine. It doesn't like counteract the ketones at all. But so get creative with it. I used unsweetened almond milk though, so just make sure, like I said, it doesn't have a ton of sugar in it. And sometimes I'll do a splash of heavy whipping cream in there, and it's really good. So I just do that with a full shaker cup. So get creative with it. Sometimes it takes a little bit to kind of figure out like the best flavor. I definitely don't mix this one with water. I wouldn't recommend that. It's my least favorite. But the fruity ones are great with water. So, okay. And Also, people always ask if they're fasting and you're incorporating intermittent fasting. I'm an intermittent faster. I love it. I swear by it. If you're not following the keto diet, I definitely recommend trying out intermittent fasting and seeing if it works for you. It does take some time for your body to get adjusted, but some of these you'll notice have a higher calorie count on it. So the Orange Dream is 110 calories because it does have that cream in there and the MCT oil. And so this will break your fast. So if you're intermittent fasting, I wouldn't take this one during your fast because it'll break your fast for sure. Some of the other ones, there's a debate on how many calories break your fast, and I'm not going to go into that in depth. For me, I do notice that sometimes the Maui Punch breaks my fast. It's 40 calories. Usually they say stay around 50 calories. This one's only 20 calories, so I don't notice my fast breaking with this one. So just be aware of that if you are trying out intermittent fasting. And just kind of feel it out. What I also love to do is I use this as a pre-workout as well, which is great because now I don't have to buy an extra pre-workout to use before my workouts. And I take a charged one. I will usually break my fast around 11 or 12, and I will have a charged ketone about 30 minutes before my workout, and it gets a little extra caffeine boost in there. And the great thing is I don't have a crash after my workout, which a lot of pre-workout makes me crash afterwards. So I still get that little boost to kind of push through my workout, and then I get that lasting energy throughout the day, which is awesome, 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 and I love that part. So those are some tips for you to get started. Just make sure that you kind of play around with the time that you're taking it. I usually prefer morning or midday just so you can kind of capitalize on all of that energy that you're going to be getting from the ketones, and you can take it on an empty stomach or with food. I also recommend starting with half a packet because the ketones and the MCT oil and the Keto OS can upset your stomach if you're not used to it. So if you're like, oh my gosh, why do I have a gurgly stomach? Why am I running to the bathroom for the first couple of days? It's okay, relax, that's totally normal. Just make sure that you're drinking a ton of water. And that's a normal thing that will pass. It's not like that all the time, but just be aware of it. So if you do have a sensitive stomach or you've never taken MCT oil before, I recommend starting with half a packet in the morning. And then if you feel okay and it doesn't really bother you, you can have the rest of the packet in the afternoon. So you can start that with the first couple of days doing half a packet in the morning and kind of adjusting to it. But just something to be aware of. So if that does happen to you, don't freak out. And at any time, if you have any issues or don't feel right, please, please, please reach out to me because there's a good chance that there's a tip that I can give you to kind of help that. It does take some time for your body to get adjusted. So it's all about just like feeling it out and figuring out what works best for you. Okay. Now, as far as the diet goes, you don't have to be following a keto diet in order to use ketones. If you are just like carb loading like crazy, that could potentially offset the ketones. So what I usually do is if I'm having a higher carb day, I will take my ketones first thing in the morning on an empty stomach and have a protein and a healthy fat breakfast. So like eggs with some avocado or cheese. And I have that in the morning, and then I save my like carb load stuff for like midday to the afternoon. So that way I'm still kicking my body into ketosis and feeling the benefits of that, and that way it'll kind of last a little bit longer. But you don't have to follow the keto diet. I definitely recommend trying it, and feel free to reach out to me if you have questions about it, and we can talk about whether or not it's the right fit for you. But you can definitely mix this with a healthy diet and the ketones will still work. And like I said, it's just about figuring out the best time of day to take it and kind of looking at like the meals that you're building around the time frame that you're actually like taking your ketones. Now, I mentioned the stomach issues and a couple of things that you can do to remedy that. I may have included them in your package. You might not have them, but take electrolytes. So if you don't have any electrolytes on hand, please go to the store and grab some. There are lots of different brands. You can get it at most stores. Mio is one, and it's a little dropper. You can find it kind of like where they have like the Kool-Aid and stuff, and it's a sweetened electrolyte that you can like drop in your water, and it just helps replenish your system and keep you hydrated, which is really important. Ketones are a natural diuretic, so you might feel really thirsty, but that's a sign that you're in ketosis. You might have bad breath. That's also a sign that you're in ketosis. So it's a good problem to have. You just need to make sure that you're staying on top of it so you're not getting headaches and feeling tired and lethargic. If you are feeling that way, it's probably because you're starting to get a little dehydrated and you need to drink some more water and add some electrolytes into your system. Another thing is when you are taking something that's a diuretic, it also depletes your system of sodium. And sodium is a very important thing for your body to function. A lot of people think sodium is this big, scary, bad thing, but it's actually really good for your body to function. There are a lot of salts that are beneficial that have some really great minerals in it that help your body. Pink Himalayan salt is the perfect example of that. So if you're starting to get a headache and feeling depleted, you can add a little pink Himalayan salt, extra salt on one of your meals, or take a little shot of it, and it might help get your system going again. Magnesium is also another supplement that you can add in if you're not feeling so great and your stomach's a little off and you're starting to get headaches. Drink all the water, take some electrolytes, and take some magnesium as well. And that will help your system acclimate over the first week that you're doing this. What you can expect is a little bit of water retention in the beginning, probably. Now, everyone's body is going to react different to this, and I always want to like drill this home is this is not a weight loss product. So yes, there are people that lose like 8 pounds in their 10-day experience, which is awesome, but this is not a quick fix. And you have to remember that our bodies are amazing things. And when you're putting something new and different, whether it be switching up your diet or when you cut out sugars, your body, if you've ever heard of anyone who's gone through like a sugar detox and they like go cold turkey, they get headaches, they get body aches, their body doesn't feel good because it's detoxing and flushing everything out. So we need to make sure that we're always drinking that water because it's going to help flush out and detox our system. But for me, I had water weight up until about day 6, and then my body released all of that water weight. So day 1, I had the energy and the mental clarity. By day 2, day 3, I noticed that I was starting to sleep better, and I was, waking up without having to press snooze a million times and actually sleeping hard like a rock throughout the night. So those are things that you can expect along the way, but it's not going to be like specific set day for every single person. It's going to be different for everyone. And there's something called the whoosh effect. So when you're following a keto diet, your body is burning fat as fuel, right? That's the power of ketones and ketosis. So your body is burning fat as fuel, and your cells are shrinking and the fat is going away, and your body, it's happening so fast that your body freaks out and is like, oh my gosh, what's happening here? And so they fill those cells with water. So your body is going to hold on to that water for a little bit, and the whoosh effect is when it's holding on, you're bloated, and then all of a sudden it goes whoosh, and your body depletes the water, and all of a sudden you like shrink up, your water weight is gone, and you feel amazing. Now, for me, that happened on day 6. It can take people 4 days. It can take people 10 days. It can take people 20 days. So if you're starting to feel a little fluffy in the beginning, don't stop taking your ketones. Keep going. Drink a ton of water. Make sure that you're having your electrolytes and magnesium because that's going to help flush all of that out. But that's something that you do need to be aware of, and just so that you're not kind of like caught off guard with it, okay? Now, when you're on day 5 and you're feeling good and you want to keep going with the ketones, make sure that you reach out to me to get more ketones. I forgot to order more when I was going through my 10-day experience, and it really sucked to not be able to have any ketones for 5 days because I ordered late. So, make sure you reach out to me and we can figure out which formula and flavor is best for you. And they do sales on a monthly basis, which is awesome. And they have some really, really great customer perks. So some of the perks that they include are, if you're on their auto ship program, which is called Smart Ship, you get 22% off after your first order, which is an awesome discount. They also do a really great customer referral program. So if you refer a couple people who end up on Smart Ship, they will cover the cost of a box of product for you. So you can literally have free product. I have several customers who do this because people are going to want to know why you feel so good and why you're so energized all the time and what drink is in your shaker cup, right? So it's pretty easy to refer. And then, you know, with the discounts, they do the monthly sales, their flash sales. So I will be sending you emails when that pops up, just so you guys are aware of it. But do reach out and we can get you some more before your 10-day experience is done so that you can continue on. And I recommend at least trying this for a month. You know, the 10-day experience is a great chance to figure out which formula and flavor you like best. But in order for your body to adapt, even if you're trying a new diet or workout or whatever it may be, your body is going to need at least 2 weeks for it to adapt to whatever it's doing. And some people that's, you know, 3 weeks or 4 weeks, but 2 weeks is about the average. So give your body some grace and give it a chance to actually adapt to what you're doing. This is not a quick fix. This is a process, and the 10-day experience is just to give you a little taste of what it could be like long term. And I think that's about everything that I wanted to go through. Let me double check my notes here to make sure that I'm not missing anything. Yeah, and that should be it. But at any point, I'll be checking in with you guys at any point. If you have questions or concerns, or you don't feel anything, or you don't feel good, or you feel great and want to tell me about it, please reach out to me. I want to make sure that I'm in the loop on this so I can kind of help you through it. It's not as simple as just like shaking it up and drinking it. There are these important parameters and things that we have to implement into the process in order for it to become successful. So let me help you through that. That's what I'm here for. That is my job. But if you have any questions, reach out. I'm going to be here for you. I'll be checking in with you. If you're watching this video and you don't have a 10-day experience and are interested in trying ketones for yourself, my information is in the description below, and I'd be happy to hook you up with that. So please make sure that you shoot me an email and we can get you set up. But best of luck, you guys, on your 10-day experience, and so excited for you to get plugged in.